Peace, y'all. What's going on? I'm Chocolate Amun Ra, and this is the afternoon message, rather. How y'all doing? Is everything fine? Have you enjoyed the series so far? Remember I told you, I'm your messenger. I'm not no preacher, no pastor, no religious person. I'm a spiritual. My system is basically on discipline. Discipline system to continue to walk that narrow path. Discipline. Discipline the mind, discipline the body. Whatever's your faults, whatever weakens you, make it stronger. You gotta discipline yourself. What you truly believe, question it. Question this belief system. Question, is it the truth? Is it lies? Is it mixed between? Always study different things, as you can see. I've got the New World Translation Bible, which the Jehovah's Witnesses make these Bible. I also have the King James Bible, right here. I also have the Egyptian literature, 1, 2, and 3. I got the Egypt, the Book of the Dead. I got the ISIS papers. I got the Black Civilization, destruction of the Black Civilization. So, that's just, I use those books for a form. But this whole concept, and it's the last one, is about interracial. We keep constantly talking about interracial, and we're using the black and white conception. Now all of a sudden I'm starting to see Asian women talking about, oh, black people, we have indulged in this negative color code text form so bad. It's the point now, it's like, you better not walk down the street with this white woman, even though people do it anyway. There's consequences, because the negative consequences was death. And I've challenged people, whoever watching this, if there was no slavery, no kind of destruction on the human race, and all human beings lived on this planet and did what they were supposed to do to pursue whatever happiness it is, truly do you believe that you will find everybody who's already been interracial anyway since the beginning? Because when you find your frequency, and I'm going to be honest with you, I always had a magnitude with Spanish women. It didn't matter what shade of skin. Something about island females. Is it because I come from the islands? Is it because I'm an island man? My descendant is from the islands? Is that the case? But I always had an attraction to Spanish women, Puerto Ricans, mainly. It didn't matter if it was dark, brown, light, or pale skin, mulatto, whatever you want to call it. I am telling you, I always have attraction to those kind of women. So I beg to differ. My wife is happy to be mixed. She happened to be Puerto Rican Dominican. She's not my first wife. But I tell you this. This woman understands me for who I am. We already told each other 10 years ago, there ain't no coming back. This is a lifetime commitment. Understand? A lifetime commitment. Now, I've dated plenty of women in my days, and I'm not proud of that. It's just that's the way it went. I was young. Anybody told me don't do that so much, even though I was in religion at the time. But come on, you young, you fill out your oats. That ain't no excuse, but I did it. But I'd always had an attraction to Spanish women. I mean, a deep-rooted. I mean, the frequency is unbelievable. And this is no disrespect to black women because I've dated plenty of black women. So, was I wrong? Because even though you get looks, I get looks every day. You get looks from the Spanish people who speak, Spanish-speaking people. Let me put it that way. Whatever country they come from, or they could be born here in New York City. But my point when I meet Spanish-speaking people, they give you looks. Then you go, the American black people that lives here, they'll give you looks like, what you doing with her? What you doing with him? That's just one point. Another point is she's short. My wife is 5 feet. I'm 6'1". So you looking at totally the opposite. Like this. So now you're dealing with that. Dealing meaning the people out in the street, like, I would never done. You know, people always got comments to say. But the same people got comments to say. Their relationships, they're not in a relationship. They sitting there outside by themselves. They got no woman, no comrade to be with. You understand? Talking a bunch of bullshit. You understand? No dedication. No loyalty. Okay? You don't even see them walking with their woman. But I walk with my woman every day. Wherever she go, I go. Wherever she go, I go. Wherever I go, she go. And trust me, she's like that for real. I'm not making this shit up. Interracial couples, that's been going on forever. Forever. And the reason why I say that is this here. The war between the black and white is because what happened in slavery. And that's why I will tell you this. In Egypt, white people was there. So, because the Greeks came down, even though the Africans taught the Greeks, so the Greeks decided they want the resources that was in Africa, right? So they invaded. But they wasn't the only one who invaded. What are we supposed to do? Give other black nations because their skin color a pass? They wasn't from the same tribe. Their bloodline wasn't the same bloodline. This is the ignorance of we have now come to play. Because, oh, well, their skin color. Or what about the people who was albinos that came out of a dark-skinned woman's vagina? What about those albinos? She's supposed not to love her child because the albino looks like he's white? Where are we coming from with this? Interracial. You're not having a black. First of all, your child, you're going according to skin color. Because if you check out your DNA, you better hope that your child has the same DNA as you. Your blood genotype. Real talk. Because if you mess with this black man over here because his skin is dark, but you don't know who he is. Genetically, you don't know who he is. You don't know what tribe he come from. You don't know what being he's. Is he a descendant from a being or a human being? How you get these different these blood types? How do you get these different blood types? Because interracial was always going on, either by love or by force. Who you fooling? Who you fooling? I already showed you in the scripture. From Genesis chapter 1. From Genesis chapter 1 all the way to Genesis 6, dealing with Noah. The Bible tells you clearly that we can sit there and fantasize it and paint it up all nicely. Why in the Bible that it clearly tells you when God says, let's make man in our image. What he did was he already created beings on the planet first and said, multiply around the world. I keep saying that. Then all of a sudden, God gonna go, well, that's a nice spot. That's a nice spot right there. You don't know it was in Africa. You just assume because you believe what science tells you. They don't know where the Garden of Eden is at. Even though there's a description. How you know that description is authentic? They've been trying to find the Garden of Eden. They got satellites trying to find it. Why they can't find that? Or maybe they did find it and they just don't want to tell you. So we got to watch out for these things. And stop being ignorant. Now, this is the Garden of Eden. The paradise right there. Even though the whole earth was paradise. The whole earth was paradise. Because God made it, it was perfect. But that special place where, why did God need to make another human being? Or, why was that necessary? Why this human being came from the dust? And description how this being was made. This being wasn't made as no baby. This baby was this human being was made whole. Because nowhere in the Bible where it clearly states that all the human beings that God created, they didn't come from no baby. These beings were fully grown men and women. And the one in the Garden of Eden was fully grown as well. Then he put that man to sleep, did an operation, took a rib out, gave it to the woman. Not gave it to the woman, but created the woman, sorry. Now, from the Garden of Eden, there was a problem. You already know the story. We don't need to go over that story. So here it is. God's creation. But somehow, Cain killed his brother. Why would he kill his brother? How he knew about jealousy and envy? How he knew about this if they're supposed to be perfect? But they're not. Because Adam and Eve was thrown out the paradise, that spot. So sin has been developed. And that seed that's in them has passed on to their children. So this is why, be careful. If you believe there was not such thing as interracial, you was a liar, because it's been interracial from the beginning. Because the minute Cain killed his brother, when God walked on earth and said, listen, now according to the story now, you gotta watch out for words. There's one minute it said God walked through and was looking for Abel, but he smelled his blood and felt his blood because the earth was crying, and because the earth basically, format. At first Cain lied. Now, okay, now we're past that. But it never told you where Cain got his wife, it gave you a direction eastward. Who? What tribe? It don't even tell you a tribe. It doesn't tell you how short, tall, what she worshiped. Nothing. Nothing. And then he had a son called Enoch. Interracial. Because They don't come from the bloodline of Adam and Eve. Those people was already there. They was already there. And it'll tell you no time table either. Remember, interracial couples has been going on since the beginning. The Romans was mixing with the Egyptians. The Romans was sleeping with them women. No? You need to see facts. Now what I'm gonna do here is I'm showing you this little document here is based when Egypt was ruling and Rome came in and started. Okay? So, pay attention. I'm showing you a clip. Now, if Romans came into Egypt and ruled Egypt, you know what was going on.
In 31 BC, the once magnificent Egyptian empire was about to fall into the hands of the most feared and ruthless warriors of the ancient world, the Romans. Queen Cleopatra, the last of the Greek pharaohs of Egypt, had been betrayed by treachery, her country devastated by civil war and famine. When the Romans took over the land of the Nile, they turned one of the most inhospitable places on the planet into a thriving center of trade.
Who were the people who came out here? What motivated them to do so?
From the Red Sea to the Nile, from lost cities to emerald mountains, under the earth and across the seas, the area flourished when Rome ruled Egypt.
Now I just showed you that small little clip. This small little clip about how Rome came in and dominated and captured Egypt. But Egypt wound up getting back his land. That's another story. But what I need you to understand is that race mixing has been happening from the beginning. Now, I showed you a little bit of how the Romans came in, and you know they went in there and had sex with the Egyptian women. Now, here's another proof that we all mixed. I'm going to show you giants in Egypt. Let's show you proof where giants was in Egypt. We got to stop playing these games and act like this stuff didn't exist.
Hello? How did you get to me? Xbox One X isn't out yet.
I'm showing a little clip. A little clip. That's all you need. You see those giants? Check them out. Where they come from? Those are Nephilims. Look at that. Where they come from? Why would you draw pictures of that? It's unnecessary to make pictures of that. They weren't giants here. Huh? Those are on the walls of the hieroglyphics. Those hieroglyphics, they on the walls. Huh? Common sense. Use your head. Use your head. Use your head. Look at the stone. Look Look at the statue. Why you have two different statues? One taller than the other. What is the concept of that? They're telling you they were giants. Okay? And then you want to understand how these monuments was built? Figure it out. Figure it out. It's always been race mixing. You see? The Nephilims comes from the beings who was already here, slept with the earth women, if you will, which is the Adam and Eve descendants. When Cain snatched that woman, that woman was never described. The woman was never described, and I will read in the Bible to you again. Get your Bible. Genesis chapter 4. Genesis chapter 4. Let's start off at 15. At this God said to him, for that reason anyone killing Cain must suffer vengeance 7 times. And God set up a sign for Cain in order that no one finding him should strike him. 16. With that, Cain went away from the face of God and took up a residence in the land of the fugitiveness to the east of Eden. 17. Afterward, Cain had intercourse with his wife, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Enoch. Then he engaged in building a city and called it a city name by the name of his son, Enoch. It don't give you no kind of description of this woman. All is stated from the east. Residence means nearby. How far? It don't tell you. So, if there was not other people or beings on the planet, how he found the woman? Your interracial couple have already began. We already know when. It tells you here, as we go into the scripture here, Genesis chapter 6, when it clearly tells you this, which I'll read it again. Now it came about that when men started to grow in numbers on the surface of the ground, and the daughters were born to them, then the sons of the true God began to notice the son of the true God. The son of the true God? Come on. To begin notice the daughters of men. They was walking around with them. Flesh on flesh. How you think you want to have intercourse? They were already gods. They were half gods. Okay? Now, the daughters of men, they were good looking, and they went taking wives for themselves, namely all whom they chose. After that, God chose he's going to live only 100-some years old. So half gods came down here, walked. You couldn't see him. They walked and they had wives, and then from that point on, they had sex with them, intercourse, and then you got what? Nephilims proved to be in the earth in those days. Nephilims means giants. They became giants because of the half-gods slept with the descendant of Adam and Eve and Cain. You can't talk about Abel because he was dead. Interracial couple, oh, that been going on. We living in which time I call it dummy time. 2017, you worrying about some white woman sleeping with the black man and all this other stuff. And all this stuff been happening. This is a recircle of a bunch of bullshit. But nobody talks about that. Nobody brings this up. Oh, because we all was black. Really? How you know? Was you there? Was you there? Huh? Because Because according to some of the hieroglyphics, you look like you had some dark blue blacks and some dark browns. Understand that. We need to stop playing these games. Keep talking about, oh, interracial couples we shouldn't be mixing. They've been talking about that since the beginning, but guess what? Matter of fact, let me rephrase that. They wasn't talking about that because there ain't no evidence of them saying not to do that. Because they took what they wanted. It clearly tells you in the scriptures, Genesis chapter 6, as you read it on the first two scriptures, that these, the true gods, beings, basically took what they wanted. They seen these beautiful women. They obviously was in a fleshly form. That's why they said, since you were in flesh like a man, you were only going to live until you're 125 years old. They were half gods. They were half gods. How you think they was able to have sex with these people? And then all of a sudden, their babies came out giants. Now they, if a child, a man or woman grows too long, this is a disease. Their growth can't stop because they're descended of these half gods. These half gods been mixing with the people for a long time. Ain't such thing a rare disease. It's in their blood. Which y'all don't want to get it. You constantly listen to this European science, or maybe it's just an illusion to cover up what you really need to do is do your research and follow your instincts and start to see. Use your third eye. Use your chakra. Allow yourself to be free from all details, all information, and allow your intuition, allow your ancestors to speak to you and flow through you, and you will get this information. You sit up there and you begin to listen to somebody else and their doctrine, and then you believe in their doctrine so deep you become co-native. You don't want to know nothing else but that. And then you lose your discipline. Huh? The church don't talk about that. Why they don't talk about the Nephilims? Why they don't talk about Enoch? Why they don't talk about Cain's son? Cain's son, his name is Enoch. Why they don't talk about him? Huh? Because from Enoch, all those things started happening. All kind of evil stuff. We ain't trying to blame Enoch for it, but still. Mixed racing couples, all that's been going on. Interracial, oh please, stop it. Real talk. Honestly, this is old news that is sloppy. And you keep bringing up between the white man and the black, the white man sleeping with the black woman sleeping with the white man, the black man sleeping with the white woman. They've been doing it. The reason why they're attached to each other because it's in their bloodline. The only reason why so many of black people living on this continent, right, on this continent here, the reason why it happens more is because that mixing from the slave trade, that mixing, that bloodline just kept on, kept going, growing, kept spearing out, man. So now you see, oh, he's with a white woman. You can't stop that. It is genetically done over and over, either by love or by force. Interracial? Oh, that's old news. And I keep bringing it up like if it's a problem when everybody on this planet is mixed. Don't let the skin color fool you. You're only trying to keep your color of your skin intact because you don't know your genotype, blood type. And that's if they even tell you the truth. the end of that. Interracial, grow up. They're playing psychological minds with each other. Here you are with the same people, and you can't even get along. You can't marry them. You're cheating, fornicating. You're having babies all over the fucking place. Huh? You sit there, you worrying about your skin color, but you ready to have sex with every fucking woman that you see with a big fat ass butt. Who you fooling? Huh? These women sitting up there looking at you like, you do me wrong, I'm gonna sleep with another man. Huh? You worrying about that little tiny, oh, she's white. Oh, she's Puerto Rican. Oh, she's Dominican. And you can't even get along. Now, you can hate me for this, because it's facts, man. Everybody on this planet is mixed, because they've been done that. When Cain took that woman, which the Bible never described the woman. And why does the Bible don't describe that woman? No name, no nothing, because she was a half-god. God created it. It says in the Bible, God created it, put them on the earth long before the Adam and Eve story. And we don't know how many years have passed by. How many years? We don't know. It could have been thousands of years. They walked the earth. Common sense. Common sense. And after Cain killed his brother, so on, passed on. Right? After Cain killed his brother, then he gets himself a woman. He don't tell you who, what, and where. All it says, he just grabbed this woman from the futureness and went out east. Got the woman pregnant. First son name is Enoch. The book of Enoch, why it's not in the Bible? But it tells you a few words the Nephilims existed. It don't get into a deep diagram or a story about the Nephilims. It don't tell you that. Why? Why those books are gone? Why those books are not in the Bible? Why? It don't want to tell you what a lot of them look like. Because if you knew the truth, read the Bible clearly. You will see it. You will see